got one here. You got one here.
Well, I don't really need this. I know what I'm on.
Okay. You saw the update down at the bottom, didn't you? The suspension. Okay.
Why do you want an update on that?
I just want to know if it's working, if you have it. I'd like to welcome you to the October Golf Advisory Committee. First thing on the agenda is approval of September 13 minutes. Do I have an offer on that?
I move we accept.
And second? Any additions or corrections? If not, they'll stand as read. All those in favor? I have two and Jerry has two. Jerry has Dave Armstrong's proxy and I have Mark Deal's proxy. And Dave McGrath is taking notes today, so be careful. Be easy on him. And you could sell the job easily, couldn't you? Yes. Golf facilities, let's turn over here with Jim. Well, then.
At the country club, don't really have a whole lot to report. Daryl told me he's going to report on the work being done in the fairway. Pro Shop always looks really good here. Saturday, when I played Saturday morning, I did notice there was a pretty long line of people checking in. Usually it's not like that. It usually goes pretty quick, so I don't know if there's someone new on the counter or what, but there was a line pretty far out. I played recently, the greens really were running well. There were not near as many ball marks as I remembered a couple weeks ago. So I think people are doing a better job on that. But overall, really good experience.
Thank you, Jim.
I'm going to jump in right now while we're talking about Country Club. I just got an update from Keith. And first of all, Keith is not here today. We've got his sidekick stepping in, both of them. But hole number 18, the drill bit was found a couple days ago. So right now they got it out. They're going to be putting it all back together and getting it going. We're looking early next week to get number 18 back to normal. Please understand that there will be some ground under repair on that where that hole was moving forward. And then the other thing is 340. People are getting excited because they're seeing the big construction guys ripping up the old road going through, so they think it's going to be open till tomorrow. It's not going to be. They've got to go on and build the cart path underneath the bridge and then do the bike path, get everything fixed. So we're still looking at possibly early next year. Be patient, be careful driving through there. I came through in a golf cart to go down Tanya Creek, and the dozer was right there and was lifting up rock, and the stone fell right next to me. And I turned around and said, "How quick are you gonna be?" "Oh, I didn't see you, I apologize." I'm like, just be careful driving through underneath that tunnel in your golf carts. But those are the two projects that Keith wanted me to do to update on Country Club.
Thank you. Dave?
Kingswood and Birksdale, same story every week. I mean, they're just in great condition. The clubhouse was awesome. That's how I walked Pinnacle for the LPGA when it was here, and you know, that course is always looked at as the premier course around here. I'll put ours up against anything they've got there. Now, I'll tell you, they had a lot of issues there with filled in sod and stuff that we don't have. Our fairways and stuff are fantastic. Good.
Good, thank you, Dave. Camilla?
I spoke with Hannah at Tanya Creek, and as usual, everything's running pretty smoothly there. She did point out to me the area of that rock that y'all have been talking about having to put more filler dirt on that, and I did see the picker actually going through that, and I saw how rough that was. No wonder they have trouble with that. That's all I've got to report.
Okay, thank you. Brad?
Well, I had a opportunity to play Dogwood yesterday, and I gotta say, absolutely amazing. So the fairways are in excellent condition. The aeration they did on the greens, everything is just incredible. The pro shop looked great. Cart's amazing. And the asphalt that they did up towards the pro shop, absolutely incredible. Just made a world of difference. So excellent.
Thank you. Jerry?
Scottsdale, I've been over there several times, and Kyle and I visited a couple of times about some things that I'd seen that maybe we can get done, and then there's a couple of things that we're trying to figure out kind of what to do with the sign, Scottsdale sign that's kind of in the grown-up area below the black tees on number 10. try to get that to where we can figure out a place to put it that's more visible. Very simple, like, of course, dogwood is, you know, you're 18, that's kind of a signature hole there, and 18 at there is a signature hole. If somebody can kind of help us out, maybe if there's an area that we could move that, and we had talked, Kyle and I had talked about making it where it would be zero maintenance, basically, where you're not having to water any plants, and all the plants and things around that old one are dead. And so we looked at several spots. Kyle did get our fountain going, those of you that have been over there, and I think that's a big plus for that pond, and kind of keep it moving. That's the clear end of the pond that way. But everything else, the turf, everything is just awesome. Those greens from what we started with in the spring, the 2 or 3 greens that were burned from the cold are just, you don't even know that they had a problem. So everything's going very well over there. Everything's good inside, and we've got working with Megan on, I gave her some names to get with some people we want to try to get our lads and lassies group back together with some people that are living over there. One of them sits right across from me right now, is on that list, but but anyway, trying to get that together. I gave her several names of people who live around there that are really interested in Scottsdale, and so she's trying to get in touch with everybody and at least have a meeting and see what kind of interest there is in doing that, but she would love to get that started again, so.
It'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
That's a good, like Friends of Highlands, everything we need somebody to take the reins on it, because I've got her busy doing other stuff, so we get somebody that's great. And also, we also put asphalt in around that pro shop that was overdue. It was a capital deal, and it looks phenomenal. So I want to shout out to the team, MAC team, that made it happen, and the members for going around it while we were doing it, because we did not stop play. We had to make it happen during play, so it worked out pretty good.
I just have a question about the greens at Scottsdale. We talked last time about the ribs that were in the green that you could visually see. They really are still there, and when you actually putt, the ball will vibrate almost. It looks like it's bouncing up to the hole, and I don't know if it's a matter of rolling them more or what, but it's maybe something that.
Kyle, do you want to address that?
Yeah, I will speak on that. I think a little bit of it, what's going on is back in August, whenever that was first brought up, I am starting to raise the heights of them, because we are going into winter, and after the scale last year, I can say last year I did not get them to the height that I wanted to going into winter. So I think that's a little bit of it. You know, I'm mowing and I'm rolling, but as the sun comes up, that leaf blade's gonna come back up, and it's gonna cause a little undulation.
What causes the ribs to begin with? Is that the punching that we did, or?
You know, I've looked at that several times, and I played on it, and I do notice a little bit of bounciness. But when I played on it, we did do a solid tine notification about 2.5 weeks ago, because I'm trying to improve the oxygen going in. Right. I'm doing a lot to really prepare it for winter this year. That could be a little bit of what you've seen. But the ribs and stuff, to be honest, I'm not seeing them exactly what y'all are talking about. I would like somebody to come out and we walk on one.
Next Monday.
Yeah.
Take the day off.
Oh, that's the way it works? Okay, Gary.
Highlands is in great shape. The thing I was just talking about with Greg before the meeting was the greens have bounced back from aeration like I've never seen them bounce back before at Highlands. And as Greg was talking about, maybe you could mention it, the different way of punching them this year, but it was literally 2 days after Virginia knew they were punched. And it was, I mean, it was incredible how fast they responded. So I assume that we've accomplished what we want to do by punching, but it was a good job, and I think it's going to pay dividends in the future. Friends of Highlands had a lunch for the staff out at Highlands last month, where we bought them dinner or lunch, and And just to thank them for all the work that they're doing. I think it went over well. We certainly enjoyed it. We have a lot of food left over. I don't know if you got it all. But it was an appreciation lunch for the staff that works at Highlands.
Thank you. It appears that all courses are in good shape and being well utilized, and everything looks good on courses. Anything else regarding courses? If not, we'll move to maintenance, and Keith is not with us, but Greg Jones from Highlands Superintendent is here to take his place today.
Okay. Keith wanted me to read his notes. The first thing is we verified, this is October, I guess we verified in September. Lost track of things. Everything went well for everybody. Like Kyle said, it's trying to improve the oxygen in the soil and alleviate some compaction and things like that, but the aeration went well for everybody. We had a little bit of rain on Thursday when we went at the Highlands, and it worked out somehow. I was kind of worried about it, but by Friday afternoon, you couldn't tell we had done anything, so it went pretty well. The front driving range tee at the Highlands has been overseeded in anticipation of the Tanyard project. The target greens we also overseeded for more of a visual from the tee. We haven't done that before. Hoping to focus the players' shots to the targets instead of my shop or over in the woods between 10 and the range. I don't know if it'll solve any problems, but we're trying to make things work a little differently up there this year. I think we're going to see a lot more folks come up in it, Paul. So.
I like the sand around that you left around the targets, because when now you can see the ball land, it kind of puffs up some sand.
Well, now it's ryegrass.
I know. Put the sand in.
Well, you can see them now, and as the days go on, it'll be real evident. So I'm hoping that works for everybody's favor. When we get down to the lower tee, the big tee, we're going to try to work from the back of the tee to the front of the tee when we have stands down there, so that we can come in behind and work on the divots and reseed and sand the worn out areas. I'll have to work with Alex and my guys to we tried it and it kind of got away from us last year, but I'm gonna have to just be a little more diligent on it this year. So I think that should work. I don't know if we'll put ropes up. We'll just kind of have to figure this out as we go, I think.
Are you reseeding with rye?
Perennial ryegrass, yes. Yeah, it looks really good. We're taking the height down right now, 1/4 of an inch every day. 3/4 will be our landing height. It really is thick and it looks good. We got some good weather for it to grow in. I'm thinking next week, maybe midweek, we'll get to it. So we did not overseed the back range tee. It's kind of small. We had to resod it last year due to winter kill and ryegrass and Bermuda grass and just a smaller tee. I'm kind of worried about the transition coming into spring next year. You don't know what's going to happen. So we chose not to put ryegrass up there and everybody tear it up all winter and not have a surface come June.
You'll be putting sand over it, or?
I'll probably top dress it a little more frequently to kind of keep people off of it, because you have people kind of move out from the mats and hit driver and then go back, and I don't know, we're going to do what we can to minimize that. I think, Kyle, you were going to discuss the upcoming winter.
Yes, you ready?
I'm ready, yes. Sorry.
So as we talked about, we are preparing for winter. This last year definitely showed us the importance of our covers. Just want to give everybody a heads up about that. We are going to start staging them. I hope we don't have to put them out anytime soon. Our guidelines are going to be for the fall, while we still have the green grass. We have a lighter cover and a black cover that's much heavier. This year, we're going to attempt to coerce the Bermuda into a dormancy a little bit better than we did last year, and that's all depending on favorable weather. So if we're looking at a 32 to 30 degree temperature for a night, we may have to cover them. We want to keep the frost off of them, but we're going to use our lighter covers so that we can start gradually lowering the soil temperature. Last year, I think we got into some trouble on those greens early on. If you remember, I want to say it was around first or second week in November, we had great weather and we just immediately had a 23 degree night. If we have a night like that, we're going to use the heavier covers, but if we have a normal, we're going to go with the lighter. And that's our goal, is using those lighter is going to help it transition into dormancy better. And then when we get into our cooler, colder weather in December, the black ones will be utilized. We are going to be closed for January and February. I think if you've been to any Bermuda grass greens areas that did not cover, and I know several, this paid off for us this last year. I mean, it's unbelievable how much grass was lost. Another thing we're going to start doing is the 3-hole system on the greens. The grass just isn't healing as well as it should, and that's due to the weather, sunlight, all that stuff. So we'll have a red, white, and blue location. We'll move the pins, we'll move the flag sticks, and put a cover over the 2 holes that won't be used. We've done this in the past. I just want to bring it up. We're going to start implementing that next week. I'll watch the grass. If it looks like we're having a lot of play around those holes or it's getting shredded, I will move them. But the goal is to have the green be as uniform as possible and not have a bunch of old plugs and stuff like that. And that's it. Any questions?
Just to comment on the fairways that we sprigged last year, number 1 especially, it is absolutely pristine.
Thank you.
I mean, I can't believe how much better that hole is with the sprigging that we did. I mean, it's just incredible.
Yes, thank you. Number 8, that area is great too.
It is unbelievable.
I just want to say the bentgrass guys have done an amazing job. I don't know if y'all played a lot of other courses, but I went down south about 2 weeks ago and played a really nice golf course, and they had a lot of damage on their greens. So Greg and Reed and all those guys deserve a good shout out. They've done a great job.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Greg.
There's some project updates Keith wanted me to pass on. At the Highlands, we finally got some asphalt on the ground on Monday. Up at 8T, from the street down to the bottom of the hill, we put about 475 feet of overlay in. It was bad. The curve there was a hole that you couldn't miss it if you tried. And then over on 17, we put it's about 575 feet in. There's a stretch at the cooler house that was bad, and about halfway up, there was a really rough patch of cart path. And we had it done, I don't know, early afternoon on Monday. We have to put some dirt down along 8. There's a lip, because it's been overlaid a couple of times. So we'll get some sod and some soil in there and try to keep the ankles from rolling on that. Just be careful if you go out there and you step off the new path. But it's nice. It was really overdue. Paving was completed at the Country Club on their maintenance facility road into the village wastewater department. That was the other thing that Keith wanted me to pass on. And I guess the last thing is we have a special request from the Friends of the Highlands. This is over as you cross the road from 12 to 13. There's a flower bed on the left side of the path as you come up to the tees. And they've had this bed's I've been there 14 years, that bed's been there longer than I have. And they've tried many types of crabapple or flowering dogwood tree in between those 2 green bushes. And the past few winters have been very hard on a lot of landscape plants. So in lieu of sticking another tree in there and maybe not being successful with that, they wanted to possibly put up a sculpture. And you've probably seen some of these things around. They're kind of cool looking. I don't think they have their mind set on exactly what or which one, but those are some examples. They're probably 4 feet tall and, you know, a couple feet wide, made of iron or metal. They're kind of neat.
You got a big upflow of them.
Some of them do, yeah. But they wanted to, you know, bring this up and just see what y'all thought of this, and leave it up to y'all to kind of decide on that.
They have tried several different plans and they don't work.
No, they don't.
And to keep it going, they need to do something different.
Yeah, we've got one sprinkler there that waters the tea. We're not equipped to water flower beds. It would just make, it's kind of shady over there, after 12 o'clock on any given day. So it's not an area that I water a lot anyways. It would take irrigation in that bed, which, you know, we're just not equipped to do that kind of stuff. So something like that would definitely solve the need and what they're looking for.
My concern is it's awfully close to the road.
Yes, yeah.
And will it stay there? We've had troubles with benches in secluded places. I mean, I think this is a great idea and it's an answer to the solution, or a solution to the problem, but what's the feeling?
Well, there's ways to secure it in the ground so that we can at least deter people from stealing it, you know, centering it in concrete or whatever.
I think it's a neat idea. I think if somebody really wanted it, they're gonna take it. I really don't think many people look up that way when they're driving by.
Yeah.
You would have to be on the golf course and notice it. And, I don't know, just.
Friends of Highland are financing this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's gonna be, you know, it's out of our funding, so if we lose it, we lose it. If we have to replace it, we replace it.
Yeah, it would be, it's their project, their money. So.
So, yeah, as long as there's an understanding that if it gets stolen, or after 5 years it's falling apart or something like that, that we're not obligated to replace it. At some point it's gonna stop working 5 years, 10 years from now. It's made out of metal, it might last longer, but as long as there's an understanding that we're not gonna pay for it, then I think this is a good solution.
Any other comments?
And it's not like a flower bed, which has been issues in the past with flower beds.
Yeah.
And there'd be no maintenance to it.
No, it's pretty much maintenance free.
Is it something we need to just support by hand, or something we need to vote on? What do you feel? Friends of the Highlands, do you have a preference if it's voted on, or
No, as long as there's no objection to it,
Okay.
we'll just go with it.
are we in full support? Okay. Let's endorse it and tell them we support it, and it sounds like a great idea, so we thank you very much. Anything else, Greg?
No, I'm good.
Okay, you're good. We appreciate you being here today, and thank you very much. And I'm sure that Keith thanks you, so. Golf operations, Daryl, you're up.
All right, let's have a look at our rounds report for September. We ended on 23,000. We were up by 450. Member rounds ended at 13,000, down by 620. Guest rounds were up by 10. We had a lot of groups traveling in to see us, and a lot of them were playing with members, which was kind of exciting to see. That's up by 1,000 over last year. Year to date, we had 165,690, up by 26,306. Member rounds at 102,000, up by 10,000. I'm rounding them off, I'm not getting into the little numbers. Guest rounds at 63,000, up by 16,000. And I'm just going to share another number that's not on there. So on Monday night or Tuesday morning, I ran the report, and we were at 71,585. That is over last year's. Last year's ended at 170,000. So we passed last year's numbers. I went into Tom's office and shared the great news, we're ahead. Now can we just go on vacation for the rest of the year? And he looked at me, he didn't think that was so funny. But on that said, guys are tired, the pros are tired, kart guys are tired. It's been a busy year. So bear with them as we get through this. Let's see if we can get to, I'd love to see 200,000. That would be great to see. I've yet to see that ever, so that'd be huge. So it's rocking and rolling on that. And with that, the weather's turning. It's perfect weather to play golf. Gary and I were just talking about it. It's nice, refreshing to get out there. Also, September is our tournament month. We call it the tournament month. We got everybody finishing up. You got the leagues finishing up, so you got all their club champs going on. The end of year stuff's happening. We have a lot of companies that do their fundraising at the end. They thank you, the home builders. Tee times are tight, but it's busy. We lose a lot of daylight in the morning and the evening. Everything gets smaller, but it's exciting to see, and I want to give a shout out to my team for running those events. It can be tedious on them, and they do a good job at it. So shout out to the team. With that said, Pro Shops ended at 123% of budget. So we had a big number up there because it's always a big month, and we achieved it. So shout out to Leslie and the crew that sells. So that's exciting. Range buckets, 8,300 for the month of September, down by 176. But range buckets year to date, we had 66,400. We up by 13,600 over last year. So, man, we're rolling. Things are busy. Super excited with what the team's doing. And that's where we're going, and it's a shout out too. We got a great product. They're filling up. We're seeing busy weekends. So to what's happening on weekends is we've got people checking in, individuals, a lot of people, and they're paying compared to our annuals. When you go into a shop when annuals are checking in, it's quick and easy and move out. We've got a lot of paying customers. We've got a lot of paying customers that are buying merch. So it takes a little bit of time checking in at every shop. So please be aware of that as we move forward on that. So got great news to share, and then you can ask questions. But if we want to jump up, if you are unaware, the board voted to approve the Tanyard project. I'm just going to show some pictures. It is a big buzz. I mean, I was just down there and people were asking me, can you scroll all the way up? So there's our first visual of the front of the building, Tanyard Creek Driving Range Projects. It's going to start in November. We met with the builder today, and we're moving forward to the civil and the plans from the city to get all the permits going. Sometime early November, we'll be breaking ground, or as I was saying, knocking down the old building. Looking forward to that, and hopefully it'll be sooner than later. If you'll scroll down. That's going to be the back of the building looking out. You got the right two bays on the far right side. Those are the bigger teaching bays, so you'll be able to sit inside, head outside. We'll do fitting in there as well, and you'll also be able to book time to get your specs with the pros out there. You would have to be with a pro to set it up because it is a very technical tool that we use. I won't let anybody use it, and also you can get lost in all the data that it spits out at you, and before you know it, you'll quit golf. Anyway, they're the cover bays over there, and it's going to rock around. We go down to the next one. That's kind of the building plans going there. There's been some rumors out there. It's double stories. It's this, it's that. No, it's a single story. There's the plan. We have a bar in there. We move our club repair inside as well. Our head professional down there will actually have an office, which would be great. Then we'll have a bigger pro shop. We'll be able to do a one-stop shop, which will be great. Shoes and everything merged down there. So you'll be able to get everything. And then the most exciting thing as well is the simulator. And that is going to be a hit for the winter, cold days, rainy days, social days. We'll be able to have some fun in there because that is kind of where golf is going. So it's catering for everybody. On the left side, we have a big shaded area where you can get your beverage from the order window and sit down there and enjoy and watch the sun go down. And with that said, if we scroll to the next one, with the outdoor out there, as Camilla said earlier, we will be creating a visual where you will see a golf course like a fairway going out with lots of targets, with fake bunkers, with target greens. That is the dark portion that heads out. The uncolored portion on the right and left-hand side is the flood zone. So we won't be able to get in that. but we are gonna put sod down, dirt sod, or sprig it and make it like a golf course. And that's where I said you can sit down, have a beverage, sit down there, watch the sun go down. I think it's gonna be a great area to enjoy companionship and everything like that. So I want to thank the board for listening. Also, we'll have a putting green only, no chipping and putting. Currently, right now, we have chipping and putting, and I was just down there watching one gentleman chipping while someone's trying to putt, and it doesn't work. So we'll have that putting only, and then on the left side there, we'll have a chipping with 2 bunkers. So it's going to work out great. We'll have a new parking lot down there. It'll be a lot more visual to the eye. Thank you, Tom, for presenting to the board, but I just wanted everybody to see this that couldn't make the board meeting. It is going to be a big project. We're looking to open September 1st of 2024. So we will be shut down. I had quite a few people say, what are we going to do? Where am I going to hit my golf balls? We'll have Highlands in Scottsdale. It is an inconvenience. We do apologize, but to get things better, we're going to have to shut something down to get it worked on so we can cut back. It's like Redden, they moved, they found other places where they could work out, different times. It is going to be a little awkward, but we'll make it happen. With that said, we've got the mats at Highlands. We're ready. We're moving teaching. We do a lot of teaching at Highlands. We're moving it to the other side. Greg's helping us out, so we won't interfere with the membership while we're teaching. So that's going to be a good deal. We're super excited. I mean, I was just down there, people asking, when's this happening? This is the biggest thing that's happened since they've been here, and they're very excited for golf and the future of golf.
Are these visuals going to be on the website?
They will be with this being presented now. You can go down to Tanyard Creek right now. We have boards up there showing what's coming, so you can visually see it and go from there. So yeah, that's where it is. It has been on the website. You can look at Tom's great presentation. It was presented to the board, and it's all on the website for you to find. Any questions on rounds or the excitement of Tanyard Creek? And once again, I want to thank the board for the support and or everybody that showed up and the membership that showed up as well.
This would be a great addition for golf for Bella Vista, so.
Daryl, do you anticipate moving some of the balls to the other, or are we gonna have enough at for instance, at the Highlands?
So no, yes, we're ready. We've already got it. We've been prepping for this for a while. That building's gonna be knocked down, so we'll do a lot of fittings, teaching up at Highlands. I'm gonna have a little pod at the back by Greg's deal that will have all our fitting stuff. We'll be rolling on that. We're not gonna we'll slow down because of the elements. We're gonna get into winter. We've got new product coming in March and April. So really club sales do slow down at this time of year because the new product's coming. And then you got the elements of the weather where we can't fit. You know, in Tanyard Creek now, we really don't fit much inside just because it's too small anyway. The new bays, we'll be able to do that all summer long, all winter long, so that's gonna be great. We're moving balls across there. We do expect it to be busy. We are gonna limit people to buckets of balls. They can't get 3 or 4 like they do now and sit out there and pound balls. We're gonna limit it so everybody can get their turn. Once again, it's gonna be a little bit of work together with us as we get through this time, especially when spring comes and everybody wants to get out there and hit golf balls, but bear with us, we'll get there.
Any other questions for Daryl? Anything else, Daryl? Okay, Alex, you're up.
Okay. Fairly small tournament report this month as we're kind of wrapping up the season. Since our last meeting, we've had our prostate cancer tournament and the Rally in Pink. Both of those were full one-course events. We had 33 teams in the prostate and 34 in the Rally in Pink, so both of those went off very well. The only ones remaining on the 23 calendar are the Futures Cup. That'll be coming up on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd at Scottsdale Highlands and Country Club, I believe, and then Veterans Day on Saturday, November 11th, and that's open for registration right now. This is the time of year we're starting to look at 2024 and putting the tournament calendar together. We're going to take a close look at each of our events, pros and cons and yeses and nos, and see what changes we might need to make and what updates we might do to a few of them, but we're going to be coming out with that tournament calendar within the next couple of months, but we're starting to put that together right now. Does anybody have any questions on any events? All right.
Okay. And all of the winter play has been sent out to members
Yeah, that's all.
Schedules, et cetera.
Yeah, winter schedules have gone out, so everything's going. Remember, that's a good point. Please check the frost line and go on to today's play before you decide to head out at 9 o'clock and find out we've got an hour frost delay. Today's play will be updated. Get to use the new app. Some of you, if you haven't seen it, you can scroll up on your phone to get the bottom to pop up, and it actually has the weather, the date, and what's happening that day. It's really cool. Marketing did a great job on that, and I think it's going to show everybody, okay, it's a little cool, it's a little rainy today, this is where it's at, so you don't have to go to today's app and roll from there. So remember, frost is coming. If you were around, was Monday morning, it was 43 degrees, it was a little chilly. So it's around the corner. We just got to adjust to our winter golf.
Okay, anything else for Alex? Thank you, Alex. Tom?
At BBRC, we had the last tour just a couple weeks ago, and we're going to be opening up in November. So that's pretty exciting. We're getting really close on that. In addition to the Catania project, the board also approved the Kingsdale project, and we'll be starting that in December and anticipate we'll complete the project in July. And then please mark on your calendar for November 9th at 6 p.m. will be the budget presentation to the community. And everybody is welcome to attend. It will be here in the boardroom. And that's all I have to cover.
We're lonely.
We had one person attend last year. We'd like to increase that number.
Any questions for Tom? If not, Jerry, do you have anything to add? Jeff? No, nothing to add. We have any comments from the general public? No comments from the general public. Kyle's already talked. Do you have anything else to add, Kyle? Okay, you're good. So we have, moving down to old business, I asked for a suspension policy update as simply as, is it working or what's the process on it?
All right, yeah, it is working for sure. We have suspended a total of 5 people, and all 5 have been guests. So it is working. We are seeing people behaving more respectfully on the golf courses, and that's good. Once again, I do urge the membership, if you see something, say something. Call the day of. I'm still getting phone calls the day after I saw this on this golf course. No cart number, no pictures. I have nothing to do. I can't suspend all 188 players that day. So please, if you see something, say something. Call the pro shop. I had a phone call in my office about something on Dogwood. Can I do something? By the time I got it, because I was in meetings, the play was all done, shotgun was over. Call the pro shop where you are. In your cart, you'll see the numbers, everything. My pros are ready. We have staff that can go out, take a look at it. And it's all just, we have found people that do not know the rules, so we give them warnings, and they abide by it, they apologize, and we got a warning list, so if anything circles back around and we catch the same person, they're not gonna fool us twice. They will be suspended. So it's going well, and that's where we are. Once again, see something, say something, let us know. They are your golf courses as well. They're not just ours.
So there's not been a massive 100, 200 suspensions that people expected?
No, thank goodness.
So in other words, people are doing what they're supposed to do, so, which is very comforting when you're playing golf. So any other questions? Anything else? Nothing else? Next JAC meeting will be November 8th, right here in the boardroom. And if there's nothing else, we stand adjourned.